Hey, Omar, figure it out. You just use the back camera. Wait. Will it work better like this? Nah. The closer the better. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's fine. It's because they're not tall, but they're not also. With the table? It's because it's too close. But let me try it.
Like this?
I think I'll have it on the side. I think that's better, right? Oh, yeah. Nah. Since it's taller, we'll just switch it. Do you have a notebook? Or like a big book? I think that'll work.
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
Wait, oh, the angle?
Yeah.
I guess this is.
I could use that chair
You
actually.
put the iPad on it. Reverse angle like that, like this.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, yeah.
That can work. Oh, hello. We got our first engineer guys from Palo Alto Networks. They will be joining us today. There we go. So we got our first engineer showing up today. And we are on time, so let's get started with today. Perfect. Let me represent. There you go. All right, guys, welcome to Demo Day. I'm sure there's still more students that are going to come, and probably possibly even some professors. They will be joining us soon. I want to thank you all for coming, and also I'm very proud to say that we have had a lot of great students this quarter, hardly putting in a lot of work into learning iOS development from all the complex topics of table views, APIs, MVC modeling or architecture, right? As well as other complex topics like map views and as well as animations with iOS in order to completely develop a full stack application. And today, we're going to present our apps from the students from UC Irvine. I'd like to welcome all of you who are online as well. And we will be also presenting today some great apps. So let's get started with a little bit about CodePath. So, well, obviously, I've already welcomed you all to Demo Day. I'd like to give a bit of information about me. My name is Guillermo Sanchez. I learned iOS through Make School development. I like to play instruments, and I also like to code for fun because I'm a business information management major. So I'm not CS actually. I do business as a side. But that doesn't stop me from learning coding. So I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship from Make School, and that's where I started my my interest in iOS development. And now I'm here. So ignore that. I will show you what the students have been doing so far. The students have, oh, hello. We have another person join us. I don't know who it is, but we have, this is what the students have been working on so far throughout these last 10 weeks. So the way that it works is we have 14 units. The students worked in the first 6 units, they worked in developing and replicating iOS apps that are already like sort of out there in the App Store, so that they can get a sense of what it's like to be developing and coding and also making and deploying your applications using GitHub, Xcode, as well as other topics. And in the last 14 units, the last 7 to 14 units, we split these up or no, we compressed all of them in twos. So that way the students are able to fully engage with their, because this is on a semester system, so we shrunk everything over. It's a little bit fast paced, but the students were able to manage and complete their projects on time, or at least have something demo and presentable to the public. Now, some of the app assignment projects that they worked on during those 6 weeks, they worked on Flix, Twitter, and Instagram. So the students that enroll in our course, they get to learn how to rebuild these applications. Flix is where you learn how to use APIs and table views. Twitter is where you learn how to use APIs like from Twitter, and as well as other functionalities that the API provides, as well as segues and passing data from one view controller to another. And lastly, we teach you how to build your own backend, your server, in other words. We use Parse as well as MongoDB combined in order to provide the knowledge and also the equipment to build your own full stack applications. Using all these things that you learn, we also learn a couple more extra things that I've been teaching throughout my own course material that I developed, such as how to learn animations, how to use MapKit, and even more stuff that's even fun. Now, I want you, so for demo day, UCI first, the way that it works is that we host demo day here. Come on in and welcome, Pat, come on in. The way that demo day works is first we host demo day here, and occasionally every year, CodePath hosts their own demo day at either one of the headquarters at companies like Facebook, Lyft, Slack, and many more. And this is how they allow students to actually put in the work and motivate themselves to put in extra effort into making the applications. Because obviously, clearly you guys know, most of you, that the course is not for credit. Unfortunately, UCI was not able to grant me the opportunity to offer for credit, but we have been able to provide other motivational features that allow students to give their best, which is presenting at the big companies in front of real engineers and big, like even CEOs sometimes show up there, so that you guys can have the opportunity to even get interviews or even job offers when you present. And this is some of the pictures that we've had over the past years, where we host demo day at like the main campuses of the big corporations. And if you guys are interested, or you know someone that would like to sign up and learn how to create iOS applications, feel free to do so at codepath.org, and it'll be on this. We have a sign up page specifically for iOS, and this is how it will look like when you sign up. So you go to our website, and you scroll down to ICS Intro to the iOS, and we have our new application just set up today for the quarter, for next quarter. So feel free to message everyone about iOS development if you guys are interested. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the applications, with demos. So first up, oh, sure. Oh yeah, go for it.
What's up, guys? So my name is Omar. I'm the National iOS Tech Development Manager. So CodePath.iOS is one of the courses that I guess CodePath offers. There's also multiple universities. I think there's 13 others that offer the iOS course, just like you guys are taking at the same moment. And UCI happens to be like the most performing one, like best performing, most attendance, most submissions, and overall the best quality apps that you guys have made. And that's like really impressive because it's not for credit, and like already as a core system, everything's super fast. So I really want to congratulate you guys on really passing the class, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the apps that you guys have made. It's really impressive you guys went through all this. I wanted to announce the CodePath Technical Interview course that CodePath is offering that helps you learn basically everything in technical interview, how to even approach it, how to even do mock interviews, all the data structure stuff, because the technical interview is like one of the game itself. You can land an interview, but you can't pass it, and there's really no point in landing an interview. So I took it myself. I got my first internship through CodePath. Definitely recommend it. I think it's 14 weeks over the summer. And over the past 3 days, I think we've landed about 400 to 500 applicants already. And you do have to take a hacker extensive to be, I guess, admitted to the course if you score high enough. And I'll send Guillermo the details. I believe sent out to you guys already. Definitely recommend it. But please give a round of applause to Guillermo for really sticking with this class the entire time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And without further ado, can I have I here present for our first demo app? Go, yeah. There you go.
Okay, hello everybody, I'm Gilmar Grigorian and this is Chan Mo, and we worked on an application called iHear. And so iHear is an application that allows instructors to make a class session and have students check into the class using the GPS location as well as a secret code. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that instructors usually use iClickers for taking attendance, and that's costs money for the students to make. And the UCI ICS department has check-in.ics, and that's not available to everyone. So we're trying to make it more accessible to check attendance in a free way. And we want to provide a simple and straightforward application to solve this problem. The target audience for our application are college students and college professors. We use Swift and Parse to make our application. So we started off with brainstorming the idea and trying to define an MVP, as well as seeing what the scope of our project is going to be. We made UI mockups and decided what will be saved in the database. During week 2 and week 3, we did implementation and testing. So this is what our, when you decide to create an account, you have the option to create an account as a student or an instructor. And these are the homepage views for the student and instructor. For the student, you could see all the classes that you could check into. And for the instructor, you could see all the classes that you have. And this is creating a class. You, as an instructor, have to fill out the necessary information. Then you pick a GPS location. You search the lecture hall that the students will be in, and then you confirm. And from the student's perspective, you pick a class and you choose to check in. If you're not in the classroom, you won't be able to check in. And if you are, you enter a code and you will be checked into the class. And this is from the instructor's perspective. You see this is the student, yeah. This is the instructor, and you can see the code over here. You can also change the code, and you can see who has checked in for the class and the timestamp. And now we'll move on to our demo. I think the resolution is different. I'm just gonna make these apps a little bit.
Hi, my name is Shen Mo, and I'm gonna be demoing our application right here. So, so we have two user base. So the left one is for students, and the right one's for instructors. So right now, we're gonna sign up as a student. So we click sign up. I'm a student, and enter the username and password. Once we click sign up, we have to put our names down. So Chan, sign up. After we sign up, we're taken to our homepage. We can see right here we have all these classes that are created by professors, and on the right side, we already have a instructor ready to log in. So we can log in. So this is the instructor's homepage. So it's a little bit different. For the left side, students can search all the classes on campus. So all the classes on campus are displayed here. And for the instructors, they only see the classes that they have created. So right now, we want to sign in to a computer vision class, actually, right here at Humanities. So from the instructor side, we can see there are already 3 students signed in, and the sign-in code is blur. So let's move on to the student. So the student came to the class, they want to check into the class. So they click check in, they enter the code, and check in. So right after check-in, the check-in history is updated for the student, and all the professor needs to do is to refresh the page. So right now, I'm checked into the class. And instructors have the ability to change the code. So we have, let's say, we have a new code called image. So right now, if I want to check into this class again, using the same code, the blur, can't do anything. So yeah, and let me show you how to create classes for instructors. So on the instructor screen, we click the plus button. So we have this all these information for the instructors to fill out. So let's create a class called machine learning. Meeting time right now is only a string because we only have 2 weeks to implement. So we're planning to add like actual timestamps for the system to make the class active during say 4 p.m. 5 p.m. So class location HH262 where we're at right now, and sign-in code, let's make it SVM. So to pick a GPS location, we just click this button, and so the system will show us a map with the current user location, which is Humanities, and all the instructors need to do is to search the classroom. You see Humanities Studio. It is right here, and we just click confirm location and click done. So the class is created right here, machine learning. So the student will need to refresh. Actually, yeah, it's already updated. And we click the class, we check in. Okay. And this is how instructors create classes and for students to check in. So the point of using location is to prevent students from checking in outside of the classroom. So let's say we want to check into a class that is like further away from our location. For example, MSTP, which is probably a few hundred meters away from where we're at. So when we click check in, it's not going to let us do it because we're really far from the class, and this is to prevent people from like doing fake check-ins. And that's pretty much it. That's what what I'm doing. And thank you guys for watching.
Questions in terms of what they can like innovate or just a question about how they made it work? Anyone? Question?
I think that was really good. I think it's amazing. I haven't seen anything like that. Have you guys tried the advertising some of the professors out here?
Not yet. Not yet. We just finished the implementation around 2 days ago, actually. So that's actually we could plan to try that.
Yeah, I can see it definitely being used.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next up, we have our next project demo named Because. Want it?
Hi everyone, my name is Melena,
And I'm Israel. We're both first years here.
and we created an app called ClassFinder. So for UCI students, when you enroll for your new classes, your new courses, and they're all in different classrooms, but a lot of the times you don't really know where they are, especially as first years, you're not gonna really know where the classrooms are. And I remember our first days going to classrooms beforehand just to figure out where they were, and I know that could take up a lot of time. So we decided to try to make an app where students can look up their classrooms beforehand, because right now when you go on Google Maps, it only shows the buildings, right? So we're trying to implement classroom maps. So we have a screen where users can put in the location of the classroom or where they are, and then the location of the classroom, and then what we want is for a map, the directions.
Okay, so what we have right now, what we have implemented is a maps. So we use Google Maps instead of Apple Maps. So we kind of just use their API for that. And then for the indoor map, Google Maps does have indoor maps implemented, but what we couldn't do is like create our own map and add it on there because there's some logistic issues. So what we wanted to use was a different API, which is called World. So I couldn't implement it onto the main screen. I was trying to use container views and switch back and forth, but I was kind of having some issues with that. So I just created a different one. So if I run that and set that as the initial one, it'll show up right here. Just give it a second. Was also some logistic issues with that because when you want to upload your indoor map, they have to process it and they want to verify that you are in some way connected to the building, so like you own it. So I
I think something happened with the storyboard, but
okay, yeah, I have like so this is what it would show on the inside. So it's like basically a map of the inside of a building. So we would use that to get the coordinates of the building. So in this picture, this is what I have. So I kind of started with DBH because I found a picture online where it shows some of the classrooms inside, which would make it easier to georeference the actual map. And I'm using another program called QGIS, which is a georeferencer. So essentially what I'm doing right here is just pinpointing locations of the building and then, just creating them into a 3D map, which is kind of what this is showing. So my plan was to get the location of the building, go there. Once you're near that building, it would switch to this view, which was under the World API. So that's what we were trying to do. And we kind of got the maps implemented, but from there on, we would have to add this on. And I was in contact with the actual developers because some of what they do is kind of confusing, but it kind of took a while to establish communication. So we're still in the development stage so far. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah. I guess it just took some time to load.
And just other things that we wanted to add on to this was for users to be able to save their locations so that it's easier to access them for the next time. And then also have automatic suggestions. So when they start typing, some classroom names already start to show up.
Yeah. We were just like working on it. So we still plan on implementing this in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you guys. You guys want to show something else?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Next up, we have our next project demo, and which is called Park UCI. And I have that group come up.
Is that group not here? Huh. Oh. I guess they're not here.
Alrighty. In that case, we'll go into the next group, which is food commerce. My food commerce group is here, right? Awesome. There they are. All right.
Oh, we looked at that, sorry.
Oh. Yeah. We're fine.
Alright, hello everyone, my name is Josue, my name is Miguel, and we'll be presenting to you today food commerce. A little bit of background about this app. The reason we sought to make this app is a lot of college clubs needed some sort of way to do fundraising for their events and how to promote their sales, their fundraising sales. And we also saw another need of personal businesses and how they were going to promote their own businesses, even though they weren't at an established location. So we made food commerce where it is an app where you could post your events of sales. And so people could see your sales through an interactive map, mainly just like anything like Yelp or Google Maps, where you could see your locations of businesses, established businesses. But this is more a little bit more interactive, where anyone who's a vendor, anyone who's say you're trying to make a sales for one of your local clubs and you're trying to sell pizza. It's another way of being able to communicate to people on college campuses, maybe even anywhere throughout your city that you're going to be selling tacos, pizza. So this is another way where we want to change the way how people who are going to make their own personal businesses be able to promote their businesses, be able to put it out there on the map. So yeah.
Yeah, and so what was it, like 2 weeks ago, I was at a ship tech committee and we were having difficulty deciding what should we sell. We didn't know that people were selling were successful, and this is like a way that we could actually get like data and to solve that problem and actually make us increase our profits. So yeah, let's get started with them.
So we'll answer that one. It's really nice. All right. So here we have something. So yeah, and without any further ado, I'll let Miguel introduce you to them. So here what we're presented is a interactive map, and there have already been some users who have been able to successfully put their we could see here that anyone who logs into this view will be able to see what other people have posted. So we could see here that Maris will be selling conchas and coffee, right? Yeah, finals week. We need coffee. And then we have, your typical UCI boba, And so this is another way, for vendors, instead of, trying to reach out, able to promote yourself to be able to reach out to students and be able to see what's our audience and how many people we could sell to. And so we also have here some donuts are going to be on sale.
Yeah, so as you can see, the boba is actually on sale for $1.50. This is usually something that you wouldn't really know, but it's better than the $2. So if you go here, you'll be able to see the items that they're selling. You can see what they're accepting: cash, credit cards, and Venmo. There's their Venmo. And then let's say we want to go to the event and actually get directions.
So
All right.
let's try one more time. Just put route.
All right.
Okay. So what the user could do, in this case, it's acting a little bit strange, but we could click the event, right? So we say you really want to go get boba. You could click that event and you know how to get there, even though you don't know what the dance crew, where they're located. And you could click, go to event, and we call, on Google Maps, and they will be able to redirect you the location as well. Oh, we're also presenting here like a menu of items, so you could see like not only are they selling donuts, but they might be selling coffee or something as well. And this is the point of view of the buyer, and so now we're going on to the vendor.
Yeah, so let's say the vendor has to sign in. So let's say we're shipped and we put password.
So we don't 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
Yeah, it was a little one.
Also added a.
Oh yeah, this would be more than 6 characters.
Extra security.
All right, so we set up a new account right here as well. This is what the vendor is introduced to, their homepage.
Yeah, so yeah, added them there.
So what he's doing right now is he's setting up his event, and he'll be putting his organizer like name, other important information like vendor username as well, so people know who to Venmo, and then whether you accept cash or credit.
Yeah, so this is just like information that the vendor would have to put in. And then because simulator does not let us actually take a picture or something, we'll just have to switch the image to tacos.
So this is where the user could actually, take a picture, but through the simulator, we don't have an actual camera. So what we're gonna do is take an image and upload it to the database of what other sellers have been selling to as well. So now we save the image, and then the vendor would select the picture or take a picture as well. And so we have tacos here. Yeah. For those who
Focus on
want to
the
zoom up on the meat.
$1 taco. That's it.
You could also use the current location, or you could choose a location as well. So if you could you use the pinpoint as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna zoom out and try to choose a place on campus. Or yeah, we'll just do the current location. So imagine this being UCI.
We're at Cupertino.
Yeah. So let's say we're selecting a park, like some place in the park, and that's where like we're set up at. So choose the application and continue. That's our information, add event. All right. Let's see, shoutout is up there. And I could go to the event. Hopefully the case is on there. Yeah.
I think it's because of the simulator that the location is kind of tripping out, but
Yeah.
it was working for, right?
Yeah. You're able to get the actual like direction.
From your current location.
Yeah.
That might be from the consumer, from the buyer's point of view as well.
Yeah, it's just the simulators are kind of tricky. Don't worry about it.
That's pretty much our application.
Nice. So you guys build a full scale like user and administrator accounts,
When
right?
we log out, I think it should still be there because we're using Firebase.
Oh, you're using Firebase?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
connected every single event to Firebase.
So everything is connected to Firebase. We're making
So
we're making all calls. We're actually storing all the
Yeah.
images.
So if we log out right now, it's not just like a view.
Yes. You can log out.
It'll take you, oh, it takes you to the buyer perspective.
Buyer perspective, yeah. So it wasn't
So
like
you guys actually made a whole functional
Yeah,
buyer seller
buyer
application.
seller as well.
But like all the features are there already.
Yeah, I mean, for the scope of the project, we have more features that we would like to add. For
Oh, yeah.
example, like the consumer point of view, we would like to search. Someone, they want to buy donuts.
Yeah.
They could put like the search to be able to like, search for donuts at, wherever they're located at.
Okay. That's really awesome. Dang. You guys did everything and you used Firebase instead of Parks.
Yeah. So the walkthrough, we wanted them to see like the vendor or user, and then like have the authentication be the last step if they like want to. They click that button, it'll pop up. It's not a requirement to actually use the app.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. Good job, guys. Nice. I feel like
Any questions?
Any questions?
All right, thank you for your time.
awesome. Thank you guys. The next up, we have a very, very large group of people that have been working tediously on their projects, and they have been coming to my office hours very often, and there's not a single person from the team that didn't want to ask a question. They all asked me questions. So can I have campus impressions come up?
Hi everyone, we are a group of 5 people and the app we're designing is Campus Discussion. And I also have this kind of problem, like what do we go for like class info and where do we ask for homework questions and where do we go for group studies and everything on final speak. And when this question comes to our mind, we often think about like Piazza or Canvas or Facebook or Reddit. But those apps are like completely 4 apps or websites, and they're all spreading around. And personally, I heard like Piazza is only for ICS class, and it's only the Q&A form for ICS people. So for other major people, sometimes they don't know where to ask the questions. So we're planning to design an app like put all these things in together. Like our main user is gonna be students, professors, or TAs, and we're gonna include like class information, structure, and past grading stats. something we don't have right now. And we're also gonna include like syllabus, and if a student enroll in the class and they can ask about like, oh, what is going on with this class, or like, is this an easy class, or like, when is the homework due on the post section. And we're planning to do like an online office hour thing section over there too. And there's also gonna be a study group page, how like for each student in their own class, they can ask for study groups to study together. And this is our like basic sketching. This is for the class page, and this is for like the post section, which is a Q&A form. And this is the syllabus and the grading and the feedback. And and this is for the tutor, and we haven't finished this section yet. And so here's a data space schema right here, and we have like, right now I only have users, posts, and profiles, and comments, and likes, and we're using the parse server like we taught in the class, and we're planning to add more. And the most amazing thing I feel like is my partner. He designed all the icons, and which is great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I draw out all the icons using Affinity Design.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes I download an icon from their website, it either get too big, too small, or the resolution is not good enough. Like Apple have very strict policy, like I feel it has to be 75 times 75 pixels.
Yeah.
Otherwise the image won't show. So I draw my own icons, and they are all 75 times 75.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Oh, nice. We're gonna do that right now. Yeah. We're going to. So now we're gonna show the app, the actual demo.
Okay.
Sorry. Change it to iPhone. Yeah, that's it.
So you guys connected your device, right?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
inside.
nice.
Oh, we could ignore that. Don't see that.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's the physical device. So first, I create a built-in a login and also a sign up system. So right now I'm just like log in my own account. Yeah. So here's the homepage, and also like homepage, we allow students to add a class, and we need to find like this part more in the future, and
That part we haven't finished yet.
and also like we allow students to delete a class. Yeah. And so right now, if students go inside a class, assuming ICS 31, so they can go to the post section, and so for the post, we use the techniques learned from Instagram, and
Are the posts like the Reddit posts or like gossip posts or both?
it's more like Reddit.
More like Reddit, where people just like comment about what's going on in the classroom.
But we like to, in this is like we put a tag like on the upper left side. So you see a hashtag. So we would like to emphasize that, because I read it, I feel like the post there so messed up. I don't know which kind belong to which one.
So it's like the main issue for students, like they will consider like solving some question like homework or exam or some general discussion. So we like we issue we have 3 tags like homework and the exam and the general, and basically the student can select, and also the all, and if they figure out they can find the solution and then solve the problem. And And also we have some student can make a comment on each posting.
Yeah, I can show you how guys how to make the comment with it.
And
It's like, that's the best way to study.
it's just a library, and then student
And
can
then,
post
yeah,
a
It will
picture
show it right away.
about the homework, and then as student can discuss it. And because we know each different major we have different needs for different class, like coding, like CS, we need code, we write some codes, and for business, we write some picture or syllabus or some different tasks. So we for different major we have different function, but right now we focus on the general part, like student can post their image on that, and then everyone can discuss it and make comment, and also if someone think the posting is good and can like, and
Yeah.
and we will show the
And
like,
it will also count like how many likes you have received.
and also it will show the how long, I mean, before the posting is posted. So
Yeah, so this post I did some tests. It has been posted like 14 hours ago. Yeah.
and it's the posting is like it's not a general whole school posting. It's each class we have their own posting, so it's like more focus and more focus. And student can finally each find their solution or their question. And
Yeah,
So
and
each class has their own post,
yeah,
professors.
posting
yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
future we will implement that because
Yeah, right now we're like showing everything on the post, but after that, we're gonna do like, if student click on one class, it's only gonna show the post of that class.
Okay.
Yeah.
But later on, you want to incorporate like finding tutors for that class, finding professor ratings
Yeah.
for just for that class.
yes, for only that class, and then you do it.
Like right now finding tutor is like right here you can see like there's some tutors. And, yeah, and then you just click join and that doesn't work yet.
And
But
click
you can
join.
tell like the details of their informations and everything.
And every student can apply to the tutor if they want.
Yeah, there's like a
this is like
application form.
application form. Yeah.
For becoming a tutor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And we encourage every student to apply to the tutor, and then they will teach other students, just like COPAS. And also we launch like some organization, and launch the study group or study room, and then student can learn it, just like the tutor. And also we have the function like professor.
Okay, so for the professor, like we right now we in future we will be showing that all the the professors that the previous all of the ratings of the previous professors that have taught the class that they are currently enrolled right now. Yeah. So for example, like ICS 33, well, it's Patterson has been teaching for the past 10 years. So it's only him. Yeah. So like so students can get a glimpse of who is Pattis, and also like what's his research interest, and also we feel like also there's an interest like great distribution from last quarter. I know that we all care about how the students like perform in the past classes.
So all this information is provided because like so that the student know how to add the first appendix is great, and they know whether they should choose these classes. Otherwise, they don't want to fail or they prefer to get A. So like it will show how many students get A in past use.
In like 2018 fall.
Yeah, and also in the future we add more and to let more students know, because like this, the grading system has been available in the UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego. A lot of users will have this system, but not in UCI. So hopefully we can let school to do some different things and let students can know more about it.
Right.
School. And yes, that's what is.
And also there's an evaluation.
Yeah, that's the last part of our apps. I guess it's one of the most students very care about because it's a evaluation class. We can take ICS 33 as an example. As we can see, there's two different things. One is rating of the class, while another one is difficulty of the course. So maybe you guys ask, well, so is it just like rating my professor? Well, that's not. Why is that? It's because rating my professor is basically rating how the professor performing for the class. But what we are doing now is just to let students to know how this class actually is, no matter what professor is doing for them. Because different professor is doing all the same class each quarter, but the class is based on the same material. So the difficulty of the class is almost the same stuff. So we're trying to give the students the first impression of how this class works and how this class maybe good for you or you're not taking that. And then after they're taking the class, they could give us a feedback. In the feedback also to all the same stuff, it shows out the rating of the process and difficulty of the process, and we can type that and change how you think the class it is. So, and also this part you can change that. The first one is whether you are taking by critics. The second one, whether this used book is useful. The reason why we make the last one is because the used book are always very expensive for the university. So sometimes, for me, I really don't like to buy some textbook. It's too expensive. So I just try to buy some, to find a PDF version of that. So so after that, when we hit the commit button, we can see everything. Although I didn't put the critic part and the textbook one, but we will put after this one, and students could see whether it's useful, the textbook are useful or not. And then we also have you can see here is a comment right up to the give my feedback. This comment part is made for this comment part. We could type everything we want to comment for that. When we tap to the comment stuff, it shows up all the comments of that. So that should be the evaluation part of our apps.
Yeah, so
okay, so I guess that's everything. We didn't do the syllabus because syllabus is too difficult to remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, for syllabus, to hopefully let students to share their syllabus and let students to know what classes it is. And also for this app, the student don't have to enroll class to get used to this app. They can, before they enroll class, they can use it and to know the information about classes. So then hopefully we're a platform to let students to know more the classes, and they can choose which class they want and they're suitable.
Awesome. Yes. I think that's it. I think.
And yeah, that's what we're gonna do in the future, and we already talked about it. And yeah, for right now, the data server is not fully connected to our app yet.
Okay.
And yeah, so there is some questions. Yeah.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part actually is integrating with the data server. We spend a lot of time with it because the parsogram only tells little about the data server part, and we were reading the documents and everything. And also the hardest part is try to make this app looks nice. Yeah, we search a lot of materials to make it the border shows up or the backgrounds and everything. Yeah.
Nice. So you guys made a Piazza, Facebook, Reddit, all combined in one.
Yeah, and also we want to do something new, online tutoring or and the education system. Yeah, I know. Yes, thank you guys, and thank you so much. You're really great. we all come to you, and you help a lot.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Next up, we have another extravagant group of 3 people. And I don't know why, but I feel like winter quarter it's all about food. When I went to Hack UCI and other hackathons, everybody's all about food. So, but without further ado, I would like to know more about food. So let's give a round of applause for Send Foods.
Where's the HDMI cable number?
It's that one, just take off the.
Oh yeah, just take off the adapter. There you go.
You guys want to start voting for your apps, for your favorite apps, you can go on this link or scan them on the whiteboards and put them up so that you guys can vote. bit.ly bit.ly/UCI demo day. What?
Okay, so we're gonna be presenting our app. It's called Send Foods, and we have my iPhone here and for later where we do the demo. So this is JGD production. You'll see. So, so our team name is JGD Production. So I'm Josh.
I'm Justin.
I'm David.
So our question for the class is: have you ever forgotten about a food that you bought and you just ended up throwing it away because it expired? Yep. Yes, that's great. So we're gonna go through. Yeah, me too. Yeah. So we're gonna be going through some facts for you guys.
Did you know that 40% of the food we produce never gets eaten? That's equivalent to 365 million pounds per day.
Yeah. So that said, how we can solve this problem is with our app called Send Foods. So Send Foods is a social media / personal use iPhone application where users can get notified when their food is about to expire, and they're given the option to share it with friends. So therefore, users can take action since they're made more aware of all the food they have.
So I'll take you to an example scenario. So let's say a user takes a picture of the food. They get to enter the expiration date, a general description, and when they want to get notified. When the user gets notified, they get to take action by sharing with their friends or just removing the post if they already ate it.
And our friend can comment on the user's post, like asking to get the food, letting the user know that they're interested in the food. The user and the friend can discuss and finalize the time to meet. And once the friend has received the user's food, the user can delete the post.
All right, so now we're gonna go through our demo. So first we're gonna go through the login page. So I'm gonna launch the app as if I'm like the first time using this app. Or just close it first. And then I'm gonna log in here. So it's my first time using it. So so my name is Josh. And then I'm gonna put password in 1, 2, 3 or something like that. And I put sign up, but I see here that I have to input a stronger password. Oh shoot. So yeah, so we use a regular expression for this.
I thought 6 was long.
Yeah, so we have to make sure that it's 8 characters long, some capital letter, lowercase letter, etc. So so actually we already have a user named Josh because I already created my own account earlier, so I'm just gonna create CodePath. This is like just for the sake of this presentation. And for the password, I'm just gonna use like CodePath !0, just so it matches with the criteria. So sign up. And then right now it's just a blank page because we don't have any posts yet or anything. So I'm gonna log out and show that we can log in.
So now I'll take you to how a user posts a picture of the food.
All right, so we're gonna post that.
And then a user will take a picture of the food through their gallery or camera. So Josh will take a picture of this banana.
Yes, we're choosing. Yes, so I'll take a picture of this banana here, and it's gonna ask if I want to use the camera. Yes. Then I'll take a picture of this banana. Yeah. So I use this photo.
Yeah, and then he'll enter an expiration date. So let's say the banana expires like a week from today.
Yeah, like usually bananas expire within like a week, so. And then I'll say I'm gonna get reminded within like 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days before the expiration date. So then you'll get reminded on the 19th.
Yeah. And I'll post it. It just takes a little while because it's parse server, but all right. So now.
Initially, when you make a post, it will just go straight to your profile page.
So like in every tab in the top left corner, there should be a button to see the profile. And here, users can choose to delete the post or to make it public for their friends to see, like if they wanted to share it.
So I'm just gonna make it public now. Okay, so now I made it public. So now if I go back, I'll see it in the home view. So now it's in the home view, and yeah. And also in this home view, like we should also be able to see our friends' posts, but we don't have any friends yet, so we're gonna go do that next.
So a user can add friends through the tab search, and here you see that all the registered users are listed, and if they want to search for a specific friend, they enter the name in the search bar. So let's say Kotat wants to add Josh, so he searched up Josh.
Yeah, and it does like the or search for the keywords, whatever. So Josh is already shown there.
And he adds the friend, and then now since he added the right now we don't have a feature where it's like a regular friend request. So once he clicks add, it automatically adds it for Josh too. But in the future we plan to implement like a pending request feature where Josh would have to accept it too.
Nice. All right, and then now if I go to the home view, I see my post right there. I posted turkey earlier today.
Yeah, and when you click on a specific post, you can see all the comments on the post. And there'll be like a text box where other users can like type in comments.
Yeah, so I want to type a comment here. Wow. Wow. You pull the refresh. There you go. Ooh, comment shows up.
Yeah, and there's like two types of notifications. Like one for when your food's about to expire. So I guess like let's say Josh is gonna make a new post of something that will expire soon.
Yeah, so I'm gonna post this chicken breast here. And then I'm gonna just say that it expires like today. Or like today. I'll say it expires today. All right. Like just for the sake of showing the notification. So and then here we choose like when to get notified. So I guess actually we can say it expires on the 18th, so we can choose where put 3 here. We get notified 3 days before, so we get notified today. So if I post this, it's posted to my profile first. The app's not sure if you want to make it public yet, but yeah, there we go. So I got a notification. Food is about to expire. Chicken is about to expire. You see chicken is about to expire. Please take action.
Yeah, so you can go to your profile from the notifications page, and you can choose to delete. Like if you finished it, and you can choose to delete the post, or he can't finish it. He wants his friends to help him finish it, so he just make it public.
Yeah, so I'll make it public for now. Go to home view, so it shows up. So our next feature is our next way of notifying people is that people can get notified if someone comments on their post. So I'm gonna have Justin here. He's gonna go on his phone and he's gonna comment on my chicken post. I'm gonna see that I just got a comment. So I'm just gonna go in the background here just to show that we also implemented it in the background. So it pops up. So it should pop up in a bit. There we go. Chicken has received a new comment. So I go here. And let me but of course. Of course you have some. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then so we're just gonna like assume that like we arrange this meetup, so I'll say like let's meet up at UTC. For example. Say that. And then he'll say like, yeah. Yeah, and then like I guess like once we arrange a place and rearrange like place to meet up and all that, and we give away the food, then it's up to the user if they want to leave their post. So I'm just gonna delete it just so that we can delete, and now it's gone from the home view. Yeah.
Okay, so our future plan and feature for this app is that we plan to connect it with other social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, so that when users click the button, like make it public, they can choose an option to like share it with Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter with the hashtag #SendFood so that they get it too.
And then we also want to make a fully functional profile page so that it feels more like a social media platform. We also want to filter food so that, say like Josh wants to look through pizza through his feed, so he just type in pizza and then it looks it up. And we also want to make, like I mentioned before, we also want a fully functional friend request where we have pending requests. And we also want a private messaging feature so that all their friends, all of co-pass friends don't see that they're like commenting like where they're gonna meet up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And about it. So any questions?
How hard was it to implement notifications?
Oh, that was definitely the hardest part.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah, like we just had to go through like a bunch of like tutorials online, and it was just a bunch of like we had to set up some settings in the back, like we had to enable like notifications in the background and Xcode, do all this tedious stuff, but we got to work. So.
Did you guys need a developer account?
Alright, for like push notifications, you'll need a developer account. So at the moment, we wouldn't be able to receive notifications if the app was actually terminated.
Yeah.
So like if you like kill that.
So earlier I showed that we can get a notification when the app is in the background, but if the app is killed, like we would need a developer account because like the only way for us to get a notification is through Apple server, but the only way we can do that is with a developer account. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's pretty nice, guys.
I like it.
So like, what if the user has like 10 bananas and they're like unsorted? How do you differentiate between the different bananas?
Any other questions? I think that's it. That was really awesome, guys. Thank you. Next up, we have another group of extravagant students. I checked up their grades and they have never missed any class since day one. So can I have group UC come up?
Hi guys, I'm Renee. My name's Tadro.
My name's Richard.
I'm Derek,
Beverly.
and we are UC. Oh,
Okay, so how we started was like, because I'm ahead of my club called MSU, and we always had a problem where we would have events, but no one would know about it, and the people who are already in the club would show up and no one else would, and we really want like new people to come and know about our religion. So the biggest thing was awareness. So there's kind of no point to have an event to raise awareness if there's no one to raise awareness to. So and there were also like problems like when we know about events like around Ring Road or even like career fair, you would get an email, but then that email you get a gajillion more emails. So you're like, oh, there's a career fair that I should apply for. So that's why like a lot of students get disconnected with what events are actually hosted in UCI or even any other college. And so other vendors too, when you go around Ring Road, like because from personal experience, I've also been Ring Road, and it takes up most of the time to tell them what the event is about rather than raising awareness. So, or like connecting the students to what we do. That's why we have a solution called UC.
And one of the interesting points that we found is that there are about 29,000 students on campus or enrolled. And previously when I held my fundraiser for spring rolls, only like 50 people came out. So it's kind of confusing. How do I spread the word? And apparently shouting at people is not spreading the word enough, and therefore we found a way to kind of improve or increase profits and just awareness of fundraisers or events, and just if vendors are selling anything.
So what is UC? Well, UC is your college experience. It lets everyone connect. It lets everyone connect through their social events that are hosted via either students, clubs, or vendors. Okay. So, and additionally, it raises involvement and awareness of local events by organizing the details so that everything is conveniently at the palm of your hand. And it helps businesses so that businesses can advertise their special deals and students can read about the local discounts. And overall, it just makes lives easier and more pleasurable at no cost to the consumer.
Okay, so what makes UC unique? Currently, the main platform for publicizing or advertising events would be through Facebook, and that would be done through the class pages. We're just going to show Facebook looks right now. And so a drawback to using Facebook is that it's really hard to filter what information you're looking for. As you can see, there's usually a lot of posts that will be people asking, like, what are easy Gs to take, or freshmen selling their swipes, or people looking for like a sublease or someone to take over their sublease. So if you're looking for a certain event, it could be pretty hard to do because of all the information that comes in. And then if you want to know events from a certain organization or a certain club, if they didn't post it on the page, then you'd have to be following their Facebook page. So a way you see is different from Facebook is that only specific events are shown. So none of the extra information, none of the extra posts are there. It's just mainly events, and the events are organized neatly. So it'll be shown later, but you can see the events on a map with little pins. So you can look around the area to see what events are happening around you, or you can use a search bar to look for certain events. And lastly, a functionality that we'd like to add is that the app will learn events that users may be interested in based on events that they are going to, or based on events that they have gone to already.
So now on to the demo portion. So when the user logs in, they're taken to the login screen where they can choose whether they want to log in as a guest, create an account, or sign in. So we already created a temp account, which we're going to sign into now. So when they head into Maps, there's a series of pins that show nearby events. For example, there's one right here, the Code Path Demo Day. So when they click on it, they go to the events detail page where they can show whether they're going or if they're interested. When they swipe back, they can go to Profile to view all the events they're attending. Users can also create their own events. They can input information about the organization, event, date and time, and also a description. Additionally, they can add a location so their pin appears on the map as well. So now when you go back to Map, you can search for the event and click on the events detail page and add it to your profile. Additionally, from the profile page, you can access settings where you can change your user information and access the help center. In the help center, users can send issue reports or suggestions for the app. And here they can also log out.
Okay, so in terms of the features of what we're planning to implement with UC is that one, we wanted to create different accounts for different types of users. So in terms of businesses versus students. Additionally, we also wanted to include a personal chat so that you can communicate to other students or other people if they are also going to events that you're interested in. And then lastly, we wanted to organize the events based off of specific tags. So in terms of like categories, and additionally in terms of like events, not just in terms of local events, but in terms of the dates. And then overall, the bigger picture is that we want to get the word out about our app by expanding to larger audiences in different universities and schools, and perhaps advertising it to local businesses. We also want to improve our apps by including beta testers and get feedbacks from actual users.
Are there any questions? Yeah, do you want to do like a live one or?
Yeah, like
So far we only showed you the one pin for CodePath, and that's an example of an event. So we also have examples of pins that are fostering, fundraisers, like the ones on Ring Road. And if you remember, or if you see right here, those 4 or 5 pins, all congregated right there, those are all fundraisers. And they all have their different information, and they all have their descriptions, time, and location. And let's see. Yeah, and then also we have other events like, I think I added some nice nifty ones. And then, yeah, we really wanted to cater towards not only events and not only to vendors, but to everything about the campus that makes the student experiences whole.
And then you can also because sometimes it gets hard to keep in track with just emails. So it just tells you, oh, what event, when, and where it is that you're going to for the user. And then once you also in the map, if you don't want to go anymore, it will update your profile too. So say you don't want to plant trees anymore. It won't show up anymore. And it'll
try the pizza party.
Pizza party. Because you got finals,
Yeah.
We can search it.
Search it up. Show us the search.
So interesting enough, the search bar, I added my own custom search bar by using a text field instead of the search bar object, because I like the way that it looked and I kind of adopted it from Google Maps, how they implemented it.
Can I see the search bar one more time?
Yes. So you notice how it's floating instead of attached as a navigation bar. And then if you go back to, yeah, one thing that I did not have time to implement is the filters button. If you click on that button on the top left next to the search here text, it would be able to pull up a side view, not a whole view, but something that partially covers the screen and offers filters that filters the pins.
Is that also an actual text field?
Yeah, that is text field. Yeah.
Extra icon or no? Just, did you want to go over the extra icon real quick? Just
the store deals?
Yeah.
So here I want to have businesses advertise their promotions or their store. So students can get student discounts at the store, and they can get more awareness about the businesses that are there. And I'll just add extra revenue for our app.
So all these events are being added from the app?
Yes, it's all user created.
Okay. In the future, would you consider having interfacing with social media, for example, connect with Facebook and import events from Facebook if that was a possibility? Would you consider that?
Yes, definitely. I think that'd be one of our next steps that we want to take, because Facebook and Instagram, they have this database that's just ready for us to take from. And I think that'd be a really good next step. And then just for final words, our app, our main goal of it was to cater towards the smaller events that aren't necessarily heard or seen on Facebook. For example, if you host an event and it's really bomb, it's an HTML workshop, you think everyone should come to it, but only 5 people came, it's pointless. So our app caters towards the small people, the small businesses, the small vendors, to give them a voice.
And even students, say if you want to study together and you want more people to come because you think it'll be more helpful, spreading the knowledge, you can make an event and then people can see oh, you meet up at the library to study for I-633
Or at study jam.
Exactly.
All right. That's really cool, guys. Thank you so much.
And then we have one more slide. And we want to give credit to Guillermo for being a great teacher, CodePath for giving us the opportunity to learn all this material. And then we have one more individual who is our graphic designer who actually designed our app logo. And yeah, that's it.
Ooh, nice. Next up is our last project of the day. And say great things about this group. They have been working tremendously hard on it. And they've even contacted a local startup that works with AR technologies.
So without further ado, can I have Agma come in and present?
Yeah, this is the last thing, guys, don't worry. Right now, we all have we have like. Yeah.
I think for presentation, we should just do it spread out.
Some were other students, we had one that can follow.
We'll talk about
Hello, we are Agma. My name is Chase.
My name is David.
Tam.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Rodrigo.
So let's say that you want to buy a painting or picture for your home or business. So typically you look online, try to find one you like, and then buy it. But what if you could view that painting and picture in your own home before you actually buy it? So AR, Agma, is an artwork marketplace where users can preview a picture or painting on their own walls using augmented reality. So sellers can upload the original artwork to sell as posters or canvas prints. So on our app, they can actually buy it and it'll be shipped to their home. And anyone can upload pictures, anyone from really big photographers to small independent freelancers.
So I'm going to talk about the login and sign up really quick and how I implemented that. So there's a little bit of a demonstration over there. With the sign up, that's my actual address, so please don't send me anything. So basically, it's a basic parse user initialization we've learned in class already. And we authenticated through our database on parse dashboard. We have additional key fields, which are for future queries. So we have like their address, we have their last names, we have their city, their location. And then on logout, we also have that. So yeah.
And I'm going to talk about the AR view. So the technology we use, I looked up an AR kit tutorial. Apple has like their own AR kit, kind of like the map one. And thanks to this guy, Amoj Pon, who created the grid class. So what the AR kit does is it can detect like vertical planes and horizontal planes. And what we used was the vertical plane. What we notice is it works best with like textured walls. When it's like a plain wall like this, it's really hard for it to detect like it's an actual wall. So that's why I tested it like on my window at home. Once the vertical plane is detected, a grid PNG is placed, letting the user know like, okay, it's ready for you to tap and place the painting when you want it. And it has the function it uses is the hit test, which whenever you tap, it lets it gets the 2D coordinates and translates it into 3D coordinates, and then we pass that into the add painting function, and it basically when you tap, it'll just add the UI image onto the grid, and then the grid will disappear, and then it'll actually remember, like if you look away from it and then look back, it'll remember where the painting was pinned because of the grid class. And yeah.
So since this is a marketplace, our users can also upload their own original artwork to sell. So you would just tap on the upload image button, it'll open up the image picker, and on choosing an image, it'll call CloudVision's API, which is Google's image content analysis tool. And using that, we're generating automatic tags that the seller can use to, so that other people can find their picture. And if you wanted to, you can like delete tags if you wanted, you can add more tags, and you can also add a title for your piece, the price, and then on posting this, it'll upload to our parse server. We also have our profile page, of course, that will display the artwork that you've uploaded. It'll also display your name and profile picture, and you have the option to change your profile picture as well, and it'll tell you how many pieces you have for sale.
Okay, so for the search functionality, we used a search bar, and then I implemented a fuzzy search. We saw that in the last app. Basically, it just searches on the image title, so it waits for text entry in the search bar, and then performs a real-time filtering. So in the future, we'll probably consider like how to search by like author or by tags, but for now, we're just searching by title. And then in the future, we might also have like a filter, like a button for filtering by or sorting by price, or sorting by author alphabetically, or whatever you have. And then in the picture info, it just displays information. And it gives you the option when you click on a picture to do AR view or to just buy it.
So now this is the purchase page. The purchase page is fairly simple because ideally we would use a third-party service, such as PayPal, to handle credit card information. But we did want to show that when you input the information, such as your name and credit card, it'll actually send it to our server. So we have that. We can then give it off to the printers to actually fulfill the order.
All right, and now for the demo. So this is the app right here. And then this is actually connected to like a parse Haruko database, and it's a little bit slow, but maybe in the future we use a different server so it can like, get the pictures and stuff faster. So it'll just take a minute to load. All right. And then here we have like all the authors that uploaded the painting, the price, and then it actually like those titles. It's just like what the person entered. And I'm just gonna show like the AR mode. So say we wanted to see how this painting right here, the Bay Painter, would look like at home or at wherever you want. You would just click it, click the AR view, and then it would ask you like, is it okay to use your camera? And then once you press okay, you just like, it takes a while for it to detect, but once you see those planes, it'll get it, and you just click it, and like you can just like look at it, and then sorry, then just go around, and then it'll even like remember, like if you go somewhere else, it'll just remember it was there. Also in the future, what we'd like to like implement is like true to size maybe, because right now we had issues trying to figure out the sizing. Also like maybe pinching to like resize the image.
And ideally, you could also buy by canvas size too. So if you want 11 by 17 portion, you could select that.
And then for the profile page.
Yeah, so here's the profile page that I talked about earlier. You can change the profile picture and it'll open up the image picker again. And then you'll see your other artwork, and you can also go to the picture details page from your profile as well. This is the upload. So you can choose whatever photo. We're gonna choose this abstract tree one. And see the Google Cloud Visions generated those tags automatically for us. But we didn't want some of them. We just tap on them and they go away. And then we can also add more, like, see, and then it updates automatically. And you can upload it to the server. And post it, and so they do have a bug right there where sometimes it will take you to the log out screen again, log in screen. That's something that we would do to fix it in the future, and it'll show up on your profile.
And then it also shows up like in the main database. And then just to show like the buy page. And
We have one last slide.
So moving forward, our project actually has been selected to move on to the next stage of UCID Venture Competition. So we're looking forward to seeing where that goes. And then we also, as we kind of mentioned throughout the presentation, there are a few features that we would like to implement, such as improved AR, true to scale, integrating third-party services, linking social media, and perhaps even like a messaging profile system so that people could like follow artists that they're interested in and also negotiate with them. And then lastly, to continue polishing up the UI.
And then just further, the implications of this app are that, well, me and Rodrigo were talking about it. You can scan like a 3D image. So this doesn't have to be limited to just 2D paintings. You could scan a 3D image, so you'd walk around it, let ARView take all of the, or ARKit take all of the information about the object, and then like you could upload that image, and then when somebody else wants to download it and view it, they could view that object like in their home. So for example, like if you were trying to buy furniture online, you could scan the whole furniture, and it would like do it in like true size. So like it would actually take the furniture's like dimensions in like actual dimensions, and then like when you view it in your home, it would be in the same size. So that's just like the implications for like future like development.
Can you tell me about the new venture competition for you guys?
Yeah, so we're actually partnering with a few kids from the business school that I met last quarter. And they've been working on like the business side, contacting printers, doing all the paperwork for the new venture competition. We just found out last night that we're moving on to the second round. So we're looking forward to meeting with them and getting more information about that.
Nice.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was really awesome. Thank you guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you had fun. All of you had fun, and as well as our online viewers had fun watching all your projects. And hopefully, we get to see even the same, or perhaps my hopes are to see better results for next quarter, because we're just starting our CodePath extensions here. So this is like our legitimate first quarter teaching iOS through CodePath. So if you guys liked it, I love that. Thank you. And I've also want to give you a tip on later on in your career, just keep learning. If you guys want to keep working on your projects, this is not the last day. Like you're gonna keep getting even better and better each day. So use this as a starting point for your future career, because I know that some of our students actually already got internships at companies like in Almada Health for iOS development, including myself with Goldman Sachs, and as well as Omar, who was here earlier with Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. So this is not the end. This is just the beginning for your career. And if you guys liked it, I encourage you all to spread the word. We're going to teach next quarter. And also, please fill out the app reviews so that you guys can vote for your best apps. They're up on the walls. I do highly encourage you guys to go through these, because I will use the data to also give evidence to other CodePath engineers, like saying, hey, these guys did an awesome job. These are this is the video, I recorded everything. And this is also the results that I got from surveys from students that came and watched the app for the presentations. So I'm going to use this as evidence to prove that you guys did an awesome job, and hopefully select you to present at one of the Lyft, Facebook, Slack, or even other companies' headquarters, so you guys can present your projects there. So keep up the good work, and as always, keep learning. Thank you guys for being part of an amazing group of sports.
around if you guys have any questions or just like a quick chat.